So today's topic is Nmap. So what is Nmap? Nmap is a network scanner created by Jordan Lane. Let's search Google about Nmap. Go to this website, Nmap, the network mapper free security scanner. Here is the Nmap official website. You can download it for Mac or Linux or Windows operating system as well. Here is some documentation and about section, how you can user guide, how you can use Nmap in the site navigation, communication. All the information about Nmap is here. Nmap provides a number of features for proving computer networks, including host discovery and service and operating system detection. These features are extensible by scripts that provide more advanced service detection, vulnerability detection, and other features. Nmap can adapt to network condition including latency and congestion during scan. Actually, Nmap started as a Linux utility and was ported to other systems including Windows, Mac OS, and BSD. It is most popular on Linux, followed by Windows. Here is some basic features, technology, license. All the information about Nmap you can find here. So let's use the Nmap in Kali Linux. So here is a Nmap IP addresses starting Nmap 7. So Nmap features include host discovery, identifying hosts on a network, for example, listening the hosts that respond to TCP and or ICMP requests or have a particular port open, port scanning, ports, TCP IP stack fingerprinting, determining the operating systems and hardware characteristics of network devices based on observations of network activity of said devices. So here is give some command. Nmap can provide further information on targets, including reverse DNS names, device types, and MAC addresses. So the Nmap scripting engine NSE is one of Nmap's most powerful and flexible features. It allows user to write and share simple script to automate a wide variety of networking tasks. Those scripts are then executed in parallel with the speed and efficiency you can expect from Nmap. Users can rely on the growing and diverse set of scripts distributed with Nmap or write their own meet custom needs. We designed NSE to be versatile with the following tasks in mind: network discovery, more sophisticated version detection, vulnerability detection. The Nmap version detection system. So now I show you some command. Vulnerable. So auditing the security of a network, identifying new servers, generating traffic to hosts on a network response analysis and response time measurement. So here you can see port, nmap port, script ban. So here is the uh, all the configuration and network configuration about the PC by found by the help of nmap. Now clear. Just look the comment carefully. So if you go to nmap official website, you can find scripts, NAC engine information.
So we'll continue with our NC script, and we have got script types to talk about right now. So there are four types of script that you need to be aware of. So each type of script has a rule. So there are four types of those rules. As you can see in here, we have got like pre-rule, then host rule, then post rule, and also port rule, and also the post rule. So the pre-rule So the previous script that were runs, and it's because of any host scan, and during this scanning or pre-scanning phases, I have got the host rule and the post script or the post rule to run. So each of these batch to hand, and then you have like post rule, which is once after all host has been connected in the script, and then the post rule is like post phases scanning, and it script may run in more than one phases, that it has several rules in it. As you can see, there are lots of more things that you need to run or you need to know. You can just read this page. So this is the script format page that you can visit and learn more about it. So let's now go back to our terminal and go back some of our script and look some of our script. So how to use this script? So these are all of the, so I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 useful script that you might want to use. So here we can see I have added minus script as usual, and then I have added the default comma safe category, And as we go through the categories, you know, here with a comma that it can be added with safe category, plus adding the -v for versioning and -o for output, and also -sv. So let's run this. So you need to use this type of script to run this script correctly. So I have added them here, and here is a collection of the one that don't cause any harm. So let's hit run, and if we, and I'm doing this on my host number, which is 43, like 192.168.1.43. So it will take some time to show all the results, and as you can see, it already show a lot of result in here. As you can see, there are lots of pre-rule, post-rule, and all of those in here. And it's running the couple of rules and post rules, and is done. So it's going to do post rule, and it will take some time because we are asking quite a lot against this single host, and it's finished there. Then we can see the post is skipped. So let's search for the post is skipped. Okay, there are lots of things. So as you can see, there are quite a number of script because obviously we have got used default and also safe, which is a quite a lot of script that we can see all in here. And as you can see, you have got like HTTP, as you can see lots of rules in here. So basically what we got in here is like HTTP port, dash command, dash display. So we are going to fetch header, see all different script that has been wrong, and then all the results and all of those script, and of course it's quite noisy, and it's also take a lot of time. So often you would be more specific and of course to see how it's detailed. So onto this particular port, on this particular phase, those the script that run which has been wrong with this port. So let's go to our next script. So we're going to use this for entire categories. So we can run a single script. So in here, for example, we are running just a banner script. As you can see, minus script as usual, and then is equal to banner, because picking the words then we need to run. So we can see the initializing NSE script in here. So let's just run it. And the banner grab is like a banner grabber which connects to an open entity and prints out anything that's sent by listening device, and within a couple of seconds and more it will give all of those lines and it will return all of those things. And as you can see, it is starting to give us the chiffers that is supported. As you can see, import this HTTP, which is SYNAC is open, and also ENP SYNAC is open on this port. As you can see, this is the escape post scanning. So it gives us the chippers that supports, and you will notice that it got I have used skip is equal to banner, and you can have equals in here, or you can don't have equals. It is internally optional. You can simply use space banner, it will work just fine. So we didn't need to have any optionals like I use, like is equal banner. So you can have dash skip space banner that you can have. So let's go to our next. So in here there is another example of single skip. So this will look for cross-site skipping vulnerabilities, and we're using minus p. Okay, I think there is some mistakes in here. It will be minus pn, not is equal to pn. So as you can see, it gives a lot of results in here. So we are using minus or capital P, and that's skip the discovery. And there is a little tip that you can to speed up the process, because there's you don't need to discover this instance. So if that is a host that is up, then why bother doing a discovery of it? When we see the result on port 80, as you can see HTTP, so there is a no previously reported cross-site scripting vulnerabilities that we found. As you can see, no previously reported XSS vulnerability found on HTTP access. And also you can see a lot of the results of all of those things. So let's go to our next script, and again we have got another single script, and this is the HTTP dash sitemap and then generator. So let's run this. So this is a sitemap that generates, and we can see the directory structure of this particular site on this port. Now this is far from perfect, but it's not a gate spider, but it will find some basic directory structure for you. As you can see, these are the spider from this to this, so you can see all of those in here using this script. So let's go to our next script. So previously what we have done is we used skip, but we didn't use similar anything like this. Now we have put HTTP dash and put the star, that you can use wildcard and it will use all out of the script. So this would mean that it will run all the HTTP dash, but then any num after that. So let's run it. It will take some time to run all of those, and the one reason is that because it does brute force attack, and it has a script that do brute force attack. So you want to be careful with wildcard, because this could include attack like brute forcing, but you can use this, and you can use them at the beginning or at the middle of the end of HTTP. So it will look for vulnerabilities. For example, there is a HTTP from ability that called method temper. So you can see on this particular device it is still running. So it will, as I said, it will take a very long time, but basically it will identify, and it will got a vulnerability authentication bypass by HTTP, and that will being identified by the HTTP method. So like I said, I am just going through some of the more interesting script that you want to use. So let's cancel this because it will take some time. So let's move back to our next one. So maybe we want to do a fast search for web server or any type of server. Really, what could we do is we can just use this escape. Now there is a no name resolution that will speed up. like we have minus capital PN that will prevent the discovery and specifying, and we specify the port at port 80 and it will be open, and as you can see minus SB, and we're using the escape which is for banner HTTP. So let's run this. So we are done versioning and we are doing for those, then we are adding the banner and we are having the title, and so we are looking at 100 random web servers. So let's see what we get in here. This is still running. So scanning, so it will take some time, I guess. So it will run a bunch of those. As you can see, it found 2, and this is the these are the couple of the servers that they found in here with random IP address. So we randomly found couple of the servers like Cloudflare servers and also only Cloudflare servers. So if we have opened up our Apache server, then it would have also found Apache server, because we didn't open our Apache server, that's why it didn't found any. So that's the first way of finding web server or any particular server depending on what you have put in here. So let's go to our last script. So this is another thing that interesting that you can do. So you're gonna attempt to enumerate the DNS, which is the DNS brute force hostname, by boot guessing a common subdomain. So I have also removed discovery to make this quicker. So let's run this. And now I am also doing this on Facebook. So we'll see what sort of subdomain that Facebook has. And I think Facebook doesn't allow to run this brute force attack on their website, because as we all know, Facebook is very protective when it comes to these types of attack. So let's wait a couple of minutes. So I think scan.nmap.org, I think website is correct. Scan me. Okay, I think also I did some mistakes. So scan me dot nmap.org. So let's see what it does. Okay, Facebook got our result back. So as you can see, it takes some time, but it gives you all the result. So we will see the what sort of subdomain the Facebook has, and here we go. We have like apps, DNS, beta, blog, secrets, developer, mobile, web, NS, MySQL, upload. As you can see, all of those subdomains we can find using this simple brute force attack. And as you can see, we have got couple of those in here. I really don't know what this does. Creatrix.facebook.com, never heard of it also. So there's a reasonable list. Actually, if we want a conclusive list of subdomain, I will also recommend this skip. As you can see, it will also show which ports are open, which ports are closed. As you can see, XP client is closed. So that's all about the script.
Hello there. So what is Netcat? Netcat is a computer program. So in Kali Linux, how to get Netcat installation, get installed Netcat. In Windows, download the Netcat and put it in the system file to be able to open from like CMD from. Mm, Netcat is a computer networking utility. Here is some major features about Netcat. So outbound or inbound connections, TCP or UDP to or from any ports, full DNS forward, reverse checking with appropriate warnings, ability to use any local search port, ability to use any locally configured network search address, built-in port scanning capabilities with randomizer. So Netcat is a computer networking utility for reading from and writing to network connections using TCP or UDP. The command is designed to be a dependable backend that can be used directly or usually driven. So now I show you remote desktop, one side in Kali Linux and one side in Microsoft Windows. So I write here IP addresses and command prompt. The Netcat utility program supports a wide range of commands to manage networks and monitor the flow of traffic data between systems, computer networks, including the World Wide Web, are built in the backbone of the Transmission Control Protocol (TCP) and User Datagram (UDP). So, here is I create a new document. Actually, eNetCAD is a tool that reads and writes data across network connections using TCP or UDP protocol. NetCAD has been referred to as the TCP/IP networking switch army night. In this article, in this video, whatever you say, we'll look at the different applications of Netcat and how it can be useful in the day-to-day. And then run sudo apt install Netcat traditional or compiling from source which you can get from the project page. So here I command ls and you can find test again command cat space text. Now you can find that I created on my text document in another file in Windows. Now remotely I can show you it on Kali Linux. Creating a reverse shell with Netcat, set up a Netcat listener on the attacking machine, connect back to Netcat listener from target machine. After achieving remote code execution, run commands on the target from and attacking machine through the Netcat shell session. So how to create reverse shell with Netcat in Kali Linux? Netcat is a command in Linux which is used to perform port listening, port redirection, port rechecking, or even network testing. Netcat is also called a switch harmony of networking tools. This command is also used to create a reverse shell. Before getting in depth of reverse shell, one must be aware of what exactly is Netcat tool. To know, Generally, in order to hack into a system, an attacker tries to gain shell access to execute the payload commands. So here is some command in CMD. Actually, the very first step is to set up a listener on the attacker's machine in order to act as a server and to listen to the incoming connections. Use the following command to start listening. So in Kali Linux, in terminal, I write some IP addresses and text. So here you see this. How can you remotely use? Hello there. Today I'll talk about ASPing 3. So here is some syntax about ASPing 3. Man ASPing 3. ASPing is a port scanner. By specifying the TCP flags and port numbers, you can do port scanning used ASPing and open port defined by packet. There is also some syntax about ASPing 3. ASPing 3 ICMP, its IP number, destination IP, targeted IP, ASPing rand source. Rand means a short form of random. So let's check some ASPing 3. ASPing 3 is another tool used for scan network. Actually, it is available in Kali Linux by default. It is one of DOS attack software. DDoS stand for distributed denial of service attack. You can launch and stop DOS attack. Launch and stop DOS attack whenever you want. In this, ASPing 3 will act like an ordinary ping utility sending ICMP. The illustration is like popular utilities like Tracer, Windows, or Linux. So scanning for open port by ASPing 3. Here is I write some command, but I didn't show you someone port. I just show some basic ASPing 3 command in Kali Linux. Decent feature from ASPing 3 is that you can do a trace route to a pointed out port viewing where your packet is blocked. It can simply be carried out by adding trace route to the last command. ASPing is an open source packet generator and analyzer for the TCP/IP protocol created by Salvatore Sanfilippo. It is one of the common tools actually used for security auditing and testing of firewalls and networks, and was used to exploit the ideal scanning technique and now implemented in the Nmap security scanner. ASPing 3 actually a network tool able to send custom ICMP, UDP, TCP packets and to display target replies like ping does with ICMP replies. ASPing 3 is a network tool actually. Here I write some random ID. Hello there. So, what is firewalking? Firewalk is a utility that can be used to determine a firewall ACL from a specific IP address. Used both static port and ASPing firewalk utilities, the TTL expansion feature of TCP. So, firewalking, the traceroute program will show the host up to and including the system which is dropping the packets. The firewall stopping the flow of traffic will still respond to the traceroute packet direct at itself but will not allow further packets to pass on their way to the target system. Let's look top Windows tracer.com tracing route to a specific IP addresses. As you can see, we are unable to complete the trace and begin receiving timeout message at the host which drops the ping packets. We are unable to determine any information beyond this system. Why? Firewalking. Since firewalls are installed for a useful purpose, there must be some sort of traffic alert through, even though the packets used by traceroute are blocked. The firewalking methodology is based on determining what traffic types are allowed and then using these packet types as the basis for further traceroute type scanning. A common firewall implementation might be to only allow DNS queries. So here you look some search. If we can send traffic to UDP port 53 with the next TTL value, it will pass through the initial firewall and return information about the next host in line. You can see the picture as well. Since the traceroute functionality is built on the handing of the TTL field at the IP level, any of the various transport mechanisms UDP, TCP or ICMP can be used. Any service based on those protocols may be spoofed. Once a firewall has been identified along the path to the target host scanning, that system will the firewalking methodology will reveal the open ports on the system. These ports will be known even if the next system down the line refuses to pass information to the target port. This information can be used to map the overall access control lists for each target port. This information can be used to map the overall access control lists for each of the firewalls along the way. If each host along the path is not inspected, there is the possibility of falsely reporting ports closed when the traffic is actually blocked by some intermediate system. The following diagram how this might happen. Look at the diagram. In the above scenario, a firewalking scan of firewall 2 towards the target host leads to the conclusion, this port 23 is closed on Farewell 2 when the traffic is actually blocked by Farewell and was never received at Farewell 2. To avoid false negatives, all hosts must be scanned along the way to the target. This process is, of course, a high level process. So, we need some tool about firewalking, firewalking tools. There is some many firewalking tools. The authors of the firewalking paper have also developed a proof of concept tool named Firewalk, which has became quite popular in the community. The Firewalk tool implements the firewalking strategy and includes the full scanning of all intermediate hops across to the network. This prevent the false negative reports as described above. Firewalk is currently available on Linux and has recently been upgraded with a graphical user interfaces based on the GTK toolkit. The Firewalk tool allows any ports to be scanned but does not attempt to actually spoof the service being attempted. Because of these, some firewalls which inspect the actual packet contents may stop Firewalk scans even on ports which are allowed. Instruction detection tools can also use the behavior to detect Firewalk scans. The Firewalk tool is available in this link. The ASPing 2 tool is another popular network security tool also. So here, for an information security attack, an attacker follows certain steps. There is some link. Firewalk is designed to scan for open ports through FireEye scanning tools. If the attacker knows IP address and IP address one of system inside FireEye, then he or she can attack your computer or your network. Then create a packet and set it time to live TTL to one more the number of the hops to FireEye and set destination port to N. Okay, that's it for today. So today's topic is Nmap. So what is Nmap? Nmap is a network scanner created by Jordan Lane. Let's search Google about Nmap. Go to this website, Nmap, the network mapper free security scanner. Here is the Nmap official website. You can download it for Mac or Linux or Windows operating system as well. Here is some documentation and about section, how you can user guide, how you can use Nmap in the site navigation, communication. All the information about Nmap is here. Nmap provides a number of features for proving computer networks, including host discovery and service and operating system detection. These features are extensible by scripts that provide more advanced service detection, vulnerability detection, and other features. Nmap can adapt to network condition, including latency and congestion during scan. Actually, Nmap started as a Linux utility and was ported to other systems including Windows, Mac OS, and BSD. It is most popular on Linux, followed by Windows. Here is some basic features, technology, license. All the information about Nmap you can find here. So let's use the Nmap in Kali Linux. So here is a Nmap IP addresses starting Nmap 7. So Nmap features include host discovery, identifying hosts on a network, for example, listening the hosts that respond to TCP and or ICMP requests or have a particular port open, port scanning, ports, TCP IP stack fingerprinting, determining the operating systems and hardware characteristics of network devices based on observations of network activity of said devices. So here is give some command. Nmap can provide further information on targets, including reverse DNS names, device types, and MAC addresses. So the Nmap scripting engine NAC is one of Nmap's most powerful and flexible features. It allows user to write and share simple script to automate a wide variety of networking tasks. Those scripts are then executed in parallel with the speed and efficiency you can expect from Nmap. Users can rely on the growing and diverse set of scripts distributed with Nmap or write their own meet custom needs. We designed NAC to be versatile with the following tasks in mind: network discovery, more sophisticated version detection, vulnerability detection. The Nmap version detection system. So now I show you some command. Vulnerable. So auditing the security of a network, identifying new servers, generating traffic to hosts on a network response analysis and response time measurement. So here you can see port, Nmap port, script ban. So here is the uh, all the configuration and network configuration about the PC by found by the help of Nmap. Now clear. Just look the comment carefully. So if you go to Nmap official website, you can find scripts, NAC engine information.
So in this lecture I will be talking about Nmap and how we can analyze its traffic with Wireshark. So Nmap is for scanning network. You can use it to scan network and basically it can give you a great deal of useful information. For example, if you are in a LAN, then you can have like MAC addresses of the machine that you want to scan, and of course you know the IP addresses. But if you don't know the IP addresses, you can just scan the entire subnet or something of a kind. It can also determine which operating systems are running on remote machine, whether they are on LAN or outside. So it doesn't matter. It will conduct a scan, but primarily it can tell you what ports are open on the system. And if it does report on open the system, you can kind of include a great deal of things out of that. For example, you can figure out which services are running, and you can assume which operating system is running because you have some default open ports in such a way that you can get more information. Now you should not scan the system that you do not own or not have any permission, because because this is not permitted. If you want to scan others website or others machine, so I will prefer you to scan on your system or your machine that you own. So today within my lab environment I will be scanning my own virtual machine, and I will show you how you can actually reduce the or how can you actually monitor the traffic, and monitor more importantly how you can monitor the size of the traffic, because the less packet you have, the lower the probability is that your scan will be detected, and you have a lower chance that the firewall will actually stop your scan as well. Now this is very important for people who are into the penetration testing. They attempt to use this sort of data to use this method, and basically just scan a virtual machine with an app, then have Wi-Fi to Wireshark to monitor the scan, and in a such a way that can see a sort of parameters, and it can sort of the scan of the map that will generate a least amount of traffic in many cases. So I have said before in penetration testing that you have a permission to scan the system after performing this kind of task. So unless you own the system or have permission to scan the system, do not do it because it is not permitted. Anyway, what you will need to do is you need to install Nmap to system on your Kali Linux. As you can see, I am using Kali Linux. You can use other Linux distributor. All processes are the same, and it is pretty easy. This isn't really that much hard. So if you want to install Nmap, just simply type apt install and type the name of Nmap, and it will automatically install Nmap. Because I already have installed Nmap, so this installation process will not show me something new. So this is our Nmap on command line interface, and this is our Wireshark interface. So this is a very interesting tool. So this is one of the best tools that you can find for these purposes, and it has been around for quite a while. So if you don't know what it is, I strongly advise to get familiar with it if you was to learn more about working monitoring network and something related. So Wireshark is a fantastic tool. It allows you to connect and pretty much port in any way. So a great deal of protocols, and I think it is fantastic. And the good thing is it is completely free, and they will not ask you to pay anything on anything for it. So this is our working monitoring process. As you can see, ETS 0. So let's see if this is ETS 0 or not. So as you can see, our monitor is Ethernet, which is ETS 0. So Let's go to our ETS 0, and as you can see, there are already couple of packets are already running even without doing anything, because these are from the system. As you can see, it is stopped and it will also continue running. So let's interact with our Nmap. So let's see what they send when we interact with our IP addresses. So let's type Nmap IP address 192.168. So this is the IP address of my machine. As you can see, there is currently no protocol which is for TCP or UDP, because they are only for system of this Linux. So that's why this is all for, as you can see, for HTTP and all of those. So instantly when we run this, and it will start to monitor all of those traffic that corresponded with TCP and UDP, and it will filter all of those. So let's see. As you can see, it is running from both DNS, ARP, DNS, because we are running an DNS ping. So as you can see, these are the pages that got result from this Nmap scanning. So as you can see, there is no traffic similarly like this, like DNS or MDNS right now, because these are all for standard HTTP. So let's run our nmap.org to see which. As you can see, lots of jar port generated. As you can see, instantly 300, 400, 500, 700, 800, and all of those are running on port, and all of those port are TCP mostly. As you can see, TCP, 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 all of those ports are TCP. So it will continue running after it finds. So as you can see, there are lots of TCP ports are open. As you can see, TCP, 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 all of those ports are from TCP. That's why it showed all of those results from TCP. And this is the destination IP address. This is our MAC IP address. As you can see, lots of traffic that generated within a second, which is similar nearly 2000. So this is a very fast scan, obviously, because the little scale that we connected simply for this website. So you can use another website that you want to scan, or any IP addresses that you want to test, and it already sent nearly 2000 plus packets, and this is a huge amount. I mean, this is bound to be detected for sure. So if there is a network admin on the other side, they will see and they will notice that there is a problem. So then they will now need to actually work on to reduce the size of our Nmap. So working environment is go ahead and Nmap, and make sure when you try to send less packets as you can. So this is something that you need to do something on your network, because this is a fantastic reason to figure out what's going on, what system is being used and the other side. And if you can physically go over there or something of a kind, or like a test backer, then you can do all of those. As you can see all of those information in here for this specific packet. You can see protocol version, which protocol version they used, and all of those, and also which type, date, TCP sync, and as you can see lots of information that you can gather. Source port, which is this from here. So this is a very important tool that you need to learn. So I will explain that in a great detail in our next lecture, how you can conduct stealth scan, how you will see Wireshark when it comes to monitor the traffic, and this will be a significant reduction of the amount that packet transferred in any case. So that's all for this lecture.
Hello there. Today I will talk about subdomain. So, a subdomain is an uh, primary domain name. Essentially, a subdomain is a separate part of your website that operates under the same primary domain name. To create a subdomain, you must have a primary domain name. Without a primary domain name, there's no way to add a subdomain onto it. For example, when you are using the site, you are always using a subdomain like reno.craigslist.org or target.com, beta.facebook.com. You'll automatically be forwarded to the subdomain that corresponds to your physical location on your primary domain name. Domain name could be based webdesigner.com, while you could add a subdomain to the domain called blog.basedwebdesigner.com. Subdomains give you the freedom of creating an entirely new website. So here's some link. How can you download it? How can you use it, run it? Now let's talk about some Python Linux basic commands about subdomain. Have a look. First command is ls. You can use knock.python.py. Then python knockpy.py. Have the target name, the whole thing, IP address, domain name, getting subdomain for isecurity.org. It's a website domain name. So here you check name, IP addresses, domain name, field, more value is here. What you need. Now if I go this website, I can hit the domain and localhost, where is located, server value. So now I want to use Linux operating system. Some secret file, hiding files. The Linux operating system provides you with multiple commands that you can run into the terminal to find a specific file. Let's have a look. Just create a in the environment first. If I go this IP addresses, some basic commands. Yeah, these commands are case sensitive, meaning that you need to know the exact name of your file and whether it is in lowercase or uppercase letters or a combination or both. So I can go another website, host name, and change this. A PHP file, PHP made website. There is a method that can be used to make a file search case insensitive using certain flags in the command line interfaces. So here is the domain name. You just check this, copy this URL, now come to command. There is a method that can be used to make a file search case insensitive using certain flags in the command line